Devon Larratt's pronation and Vitaly Lalatin's pronation serve different functions and are applied in distinct ways. Devon's pronation is heavily integrated with his back pressure and riser, allowing him to maintain height and control his opponent's hand position. His pronation is often applied statically, using friction from the strap and his elbow flexion to secure hand dominance. This approach helps him fatigue his opponent over time while maintaining control. The match will 100% end up in this position. Vitaly applying relentless side pressure while his wrist is fucked. Devon, on the other hand, will get stretched to hell. Notice Devon's arm angle. The more it get fucked open, the more pronation torque is applied on Vitaly's long-ass hand. Vitaly is low-hand top roller, and for that reason, the battle of height is fucking won by Devon. The ugly wrist kickback of Devon and the bitch high riser are more than sufficient to fuck up Vitaly's Russian wrist. I don't see Devon losing his pronation to Vitaly under any circumstance. That's not how Vitaly pulls, and it's what makes him vulnerable. Devon has 60 seconds in the setup to mess with his opponent's hand. Once they get into the straps, he has access to the king's move, which is highly effective against low-hand top rollers. The issue with top rollers like Vitaly is that once their silver bullet gets stopped, they have no means of defense and often aren't strong enough in other areas to compensate. The way Vitaly grips for his top roll is also susceptible to a hard drag with the wrist back, entering the king's move. I do think Devon will succeed in pulling him the same way he pulls Matt Mask. Devon may not stop him in round one, but after a few ready goes, I don't expect Vitaly to be able to pin him. He will start to lose his hand trying to go through Devon's open top roll. Once his hand pops the first time, it's probably over. Devon will start taking a higher hand position off the go and turning Vitaly. Vitaly doesn't have the strongest riser and can't take the high ground from Devon. His left-hand style relies on controlling the pronator of his opponent. Devon has one of the top 2 pronations in the world, so Vitaly definitely isn't containing that. His wrist is going to bust back if he applies side pressure. Devon doesn't have a world-class grip, but his wrist and pronator are at the very top. Devon himself has said he never wants to pull Vitaly, and jokingly acts afraid when they are hanging out. In terms of raw power, Vitaly is stronger than Devon, but he will struggle in the setup. Devon's table IQ is superior, while Vitaly's is subpar. Devon will stop Vitaly's hit with his pronation and crack his wrist, similar to how Morozov did. Whether Vitaly can pin Devon from that position is uncertain. That said, we saw how close Vitaly's silver bullet was to Levon's, but perhaps because Vitaly is matched in length, he will be forced to pull with his knuckles higher than usual, making him vulnerable to a king's move. If Devon reverts to his pre-surgery style, where he commits his shoulder and break arm position, he could be sticky enough to tire Vitaly out. Matt and Vitaly are similar in style. Both are explosive low-hand top rollers. They force their opponents to hold their hands lower, putting them at a leverage disadvantage. Devon's pronation and cup are among the best in the world, only second to Levon. Long forearms typically provide an advantage in both top roll and hook techniques. In a top roll, you can put pressure on your opponent's fingers from above. In a hook, you can come down crashing onto their biceps. A longer forearm loads the elbow more than a shorter one because the muscles are attached proportionately higher on the bones. The only way a short arm can have an advantage is if it has an insane hand at the end. Examples include Sasho Andreev and Rustam Babayev. Their clamping power is so strong that they can prevent longer-armed opponents from rising, leaving them extended. We've seen Devon make a lot of progress fairly quickly in recent years, and Devon is way older than Vitaly and had already been doing arm wrestling full-time for several years. But for some reason, it's super far-fetched to imagine Vitaly has made a ton of progress over the last 1 to 2 years, even though Vitaly is much younger and had just recently changed his lifestyle to dedicate much more time to training and nutrition. I like the fact that no one is talking about Vitaly's terrible endurance, probably because he recently flash-pinned the paper champion in Zaranov. But everyone forgot that this guy didn't even manage to win the endurance war against Dave Chaffee.